This video looks to determine whether Oxford has a sense of place by highlighting the main townscape features of the city and referring to Gordon Cullen's idea of serial vision. The route starts at the beginning of Ship Street, working around the corner onto Broad Street and then to Cat Street, which finally leads us to Oxford High Street. We start on Ship Street, where we immediately notice the contrast between the old Oxford College on the right hand side of the street and the newer dwellings and shops found on the left, highlighting a constant change in development. The spire of Exeter College at the end of the road gives an impression of a closed vista. This is assisted by the projection from the large tree onto the street. However, as we reach the end of the road, it becomes clear that there are two possible routes to take, and we continue left onto Tull Street, leading us onto Broad Street. At the start of Broad Street, it is first noticeable how open, or broad, the street actually is. There is a great sense of here-ness and there-ness created by the open road, and the private gated off area highlighted in red, enticing us inside. We are also given the impression of an even further space to be explored, created by the rooftops highlighted in yellow. As we continue along the road, the building on the left stands out amongst the others. The vegetation growing on the front creates a mix of textures. This gives it a unique edge and draws attention to the building. Approaching the Sheldonian Theatre, there is a triple deflection created by the three visible buildings. This directs the people in the street along the path of the road and pushes them into the far corner where there are more areas to explore. Here the building highlighted in red creates a further deflection and directs people towards what may lie around the corner, creating suspense. You can also see the irregularity of the building in yellow and how it clearly stands out amongst the others. We continue around the corner onto Cat Street, another wide road with flat uniform buildings on either side. On the left hand side of the road we come across one of Oxford's most famous landmarks, the Bridge of Sighs. The bridge creates a framed vista highlighted in yellow. This gives a further sense of here-ness and there-ness, enticing us to continue down the road and under the bridge to see what lies ahead. Further along Cat Street, we come to a gate which clearly separates the road from a new open space. In the corner we can see another passageway in the distance, intriguing us to walk further. The vast open area continues around the square, whilst the whole time your attention is drawn to the Radcliffe camera. Another key Oxford landmark, the building stands on its own in the middle of the square, giving it a sense of prestige and importance. Its architecture works perfectly in conjunction with the buildings that surround it, and the overall theme of the Oxford spires. To the west of the square, a private space is created by the gated off section of the Radcliffe, and the side of the building highlighted in red creates deflection and leads people to walk down Brasnose Lane. Continuing along the east side of the square, the Condrington Library can be seen on the left hand side before we come to the University Church of St Mary the Virgin. This tower acts as an incident of the other uniform buildings that define Radcliffe Square. It is one of the main towers that makes up the Great Oxford Spires, which can be seen from a vast distance. To finish off the walk, at the end of Cat Street we walk out into the High Street. The High Street is full of life, with a great mix of architecture, from old Oxford College buildings to newer restaurants and cafes. As we look back down the High Street towards St Clement's, we see the projection from the vegetation once again onto the High Street. And it is also noticeable how the road bends, giving the buildings a sense of deflection, directing people around the bend and towards Magdalen College. By creating this video and following Gordon Cullen's outlook on concise townscaping, I would definitely say Oxford has a great sense of place. It just taught me to look at buildings differently, as individual pieces of art, rather than just meaningless objects in the street. Many of the buildings in Oxford follow the same architectural design, whilst also being unique in their own way.